Yolam True, and welcome to another exciting day in our galaxy, and it's rather some exciting weeks ahead with all the new stuff that they brought in with the Mirror Universe Part 2 now. Today I want to talk about the Battle Pass and especially about the Resistance Chit event that came in with it, although I personally would have liked to get some more materials because that's what I urgently need for all the upgrades. But it is something different once again, and so we definitely need to talk about this. But before I do that, I just want to say, if you're not a subscriber of my channel yet but do like my videos, then please do subscribe to my channel, and when you do, also click this little bell and all notifications so you will be notified when another video comes out. And so now let's have a quick look at the normal Battle Pass, but we will not do that in big detail today. But it contains some things that are important for the special event as well. It's as usual, there's a free path and an elite path. And as I said in many videos before I made the videos, I didn't spend much money on the game. But what I spent was the 23 euros here from my point of view for the elite path of the Battle Pass, because that's the best value you get for your money in this game. And if you ever thought about spending any money on this game, that's the point where you should do it. If you don't spend any, that's then just do the free one. But if you ever spend money, invest that in the elite Battle Pass, because but I mean in my case 23 euro version, not the 100 euro version, because there you can get a lot of materials and stuff as well. And in this case it will be important for the Resistance Chit event as well, that we talk about in a second, because that's the reason why we'll come back in a second here again when we talked about the new event. But here you see once again you get some shards for the new officers as well, and of course the material you usually get, and so on and so on. But we go out of here for a second because I first want to talk about the event that came with it. Some might have overlooked it, but you see it here. There's a supply run SLB that has to do with the event that is running on the side, so to speak. Because here you get rewards in the end for spending those resistance chits that you can earn at the moment. Because despite other times where you do earn materials for the events that are running, in this case you do earn those resistance chits in the events that are running, in some of them. For example, in the upgrade District 56 SLB, about the building we will talk in the next days as well. Of course, it's a new building, and so it's worth a video. But these resistance chits are what you get instead of materials in many of the events during the Battle Pass. And for those, they have introduced a new event store. And there, depending on your level, are very interesting things in it. First of all, there are two exchanges that are not for the resistance chits, and that's why I said we have to go back to the Battle Pass a bit, because 2 of the 4 new officers, if you've seen my preview video for the new arc, then you've seen that there are 4 new officers, and for 2 of them there's an exchange here in this resistance chit event store, and that's Mirror Esri and Mirror Troy. But for those, you don't spend resistance chits, you spend rare officer choice tokens, and those tokens you get via the Battle Pass. They are some are in the free section and some are in the elite section. That's why I said we come back in a second. You see, on the first day, I'm filming this on Wednesday, after the first night of the new arc. On the first day there already were 200 rare officer choice in the free path, and there were 500 in the elite path, and there will be more while it's running. There's 600 more in the elite path, and there are 300 more in the free path and another 800 in the elite path. I haven't counted yet how many you get here in the end. You need 3,800 of those for one of the new offices. And if we do that, that's 1400, 22, 25, 31, 36, is 38 in there. So it's exactly enough of those officer choice tokens for one of the two new officers. So if you are going the elite path, in the end you will have enough to choose one of the two. So you have to decide between Troy or Esri, because via the battle pass you will only get one of those if you go the elite path. And there, as I said, you have to decide between Esri and Troy, because you see one of the shards costs 100 of those rare officer choice, and you need 38 shards for those officers. I do have 3 of those from the starting gift and from the missions that I've already done. So from both I have 3. That means I need 35 for one officer to complete, but that just means I can complete one and get the another 3 tokens for the other officer, but I cannot complete both with that. So I will have to make that choice too. That's why I haven't spent the 700 I have already, because I still haven't made up my mind which of the 2 I will get. But then we have those resistance chits, and there, depending on your level, I can see that on my level 12 account, obviously, that I'm also running for some low-level videos. There's the Academy again, which I still have to make videos about, which I can only see on my low-level account. But there I can see that I have much less in the event store than I have here. But depending on your level, and I'm level 57 now, you can see quite a lot of interesting things. On my level, I don't know from which level they came, but I even have a fleet commander slot unlock in here. I'm not sure if I get enough of those tokens doing this. It's 180,000. Sometimes these events bring a lot of tokens, sometimes they don't. That is something that would be very high on my list, to get another fleet commander slot via this event. Then there's an iron particle. They are very important for some research. You can get some by 2 different missions, by a familiar face and a light in the darkness, but you cannot get more in-game usually, so that's another one that's really interesting as well. There are also a few officers, will depend on level again which ones are in here. In my on my level 12 account there's only Pelia in here. But I also have Mirror Picard, Strange New Worlds Kirk, and Mirror Data. I've got all the officers, so I will not spend it on the officers. But it's if you are still missing one, especially Mirror Data, many will still be missing some charts for Mirror Data. That's an interesting one as well. And as usual, which is very interesting, there are ship blueprints. As I usually say in these events, don't spend any tokens of the special currency on faction ships, because those you always can get in game quite easily. Nowadays the Monovine is quite easy to get as well, with so many territories that have the Monovine yard in there where you can get Monovine blueprints. So that's not high on the list still. But for many players there's something in here again that is very interesting. If they, especially the lower level players, if you manage to get your Stella via your Rogue faction store, and you always have to get it there first, then you can get a second Stella via this event here, for example. And I have to scroll a little bit to find it. There's the Stella. It's in here. It has a limit of 20 blueprints only, but there will be 5 in each, so you can get a full Stella here. It costs 3,800 for one chest, and you need 20 chests, so you can calculate that yourself. If you get enough currency here, you can get your second Stella. But beware, if you get Stella blueprints here before you got all the blueprints from the Rogue faction, it will disappear in the Rogue faction. So only get Stella blueprints in the special events after you got your first Stella in the Rogue faction store. never earlier. I know some people that made that mistake, and that's why I'm repeating that in my videos all the time. And of course, there are other special ships in here, like the Mantis, like you saw the Voyager, the Meridian, etc. If you got your second Stellar already, then you might want to think about some of those. What I'm quite intrigued of is I can see Crozier blueprints in here, but I don't see other blueprints. Oh yeah, I did see it. The Sanctus is there somewhere as well. I'm sorry, I mixed that up. No, that's not the Sanctus, that's the Burrell. But I was just surprised that I saw the Crozier but not the Sanctus, but I'm quite sure the Sanctus was somewhere in here as well. Yeah, there it is. But as I said, if there's nothing else I would spend anything on, then I would possibly get the last of blueprints that I need for a faction ship, but usually don't do that for faction ships. Because there's, of course, more. There are ship parts, which I usually don't do, and throwback cosmetics, special currencies and resources. I never use those because the resources are far too expensive compared to others, but there are also ship refits. And that's another section I have to get out because it's having issues again. Yeah, there were issues before Arcfall, and there are issues still now after Arcfall. So there are the refits. That's another section which I can suggest to use before you buy any faction ship blueprints or whatever, because there's a lot of refits in here that are quite interesting. And I have a number of those already, so I don't need to get them. And it once again depends on your level. But for example, on my level, there's the new Coronar Apex Barrier refit in here. It's probably only the Coronar because I haven't built the Pelham or what was the Federation ship on that level again? The Newton. So I only have the Coronar, so it might only show the Coronar Apex Barrier refit here. But that's one of the newest ones we had in last month, so that could be interesting for some of you. What I got also was this sarcophagus cloaking at some point, because the sarcophagus is not as important nowadays as it was in earlier times, but on servers that are quite new, the sarcophagus is still quite important. When everybody has the big ships, the G5, G6, then the sarcophagus doesn't do anything anymore. But in G4 ship times, the sarcophagus is still quite nice, but you want to have it on the node without being destroyed on the way there, because it's only good on a capture node and not on the way there. So I got the cloaking at the time. So I cloak, get it on the node, then the cloak will fall off, of course, but it is on the node then and cannot be destroyed on the way there. And there's a lot of other things. The Cerritos refit I'm still missing. The TOS shards I usually don't get here because I can get them from the amalgam refinery. Is same with the amalgam cloaking, but there are some. The amalgam refit shard is the assimilated. I guess it is interesting. The Kelvin refit is interesting. The there was the Valdor refit. That was one of my favorite ones. Is in here. So there's a lot of nice stuff in the refits as well. So if you have all the special ships and the officers, then I suggest you go for the refits. As I said, I don't know how many of those tokens it's possible to get during this battle pass, but I hope it's at least enough for my fleet commander slot. Sorry. But I keep my fingers crossed that you get a lot of those, and then at least it's worth it. As I said, at the moment I would have preferred the normal events with a lot of material, because that's what I'm lacking. But we have that. A lot of people will be happy about this event store, and so I'm happy for you that you can get some more things done there, and I'm looking forward to hear what you are getting, because I really would like to know your opinion about this Resistance Chit event and what you think about it, what you are getting. So please write it in the comments. And if you have questions in general or video requests, as I say, in general or regularly, I do regularly read your comments, and if you want to see another video right now, the next one is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.